So students, here I have come with the pen and paper for you to make you understand on this section. So this is question 5a, as I told you, and the normal question that you will see in the paper will be this, right? You have to follow this instruction very carefully. Now see here, let me read it for you. Rewrite the following sentences according to the instructions given after each. Make other changes that may be necessary, but do not change the meaning of each sentence. This is what you must understand, right? So we are given sentences, and after every sentence we are given the instructions, right? And what instructions are given, we have to follow those instructions and carry on with our answers, right? But in the answers, we must keep in mind that we are not allowed to change the meaning of the given sentence, right? So let us carry on. So as I told you, there are 5 exercises for today's class, which I have listed on the board, and the same thing is copied here in your exercise. Now see here, the first one is, as I told, the use of to and to be changed into so and that, right? So they are pairing words. Whenever we have the word to, to will go with it, right? And whenever we have the word so, that must go with it. So that, such that are the pairing words that we do remember, right? Now how do we change the given to into so and that, right? So here are certain examples for you to understand. Example A: the uses of to and to are many, out of which few of the exercises are taken and very likely to be asked in the paper, right? So that is what we must understand. See, example A says, Rahul, I have taken name Rahul, irrespective of whoever is he, right? So Rahul is too weak to do any work. So look at the word to. Look at the word here, to. To is going with this word, pairing word to. Wherever you have to is also there. So Rahul is present tense, right? Rahul is too weak to do any work. Now the question within bracket is telling you, remove to. This is the first question. Either this will be the question, or next you see, use so in place of to. The next question you see, begin colon, Rahul is so, then some dots, bracket close, right? So these are the 3 kinds of questions for a similar number. Any of these 3 questions will be asked, right? Now any of the 3 questions will be asked in the paper, the answer is only one. We'll get only one answer, right? Look how the first question is telling you remove to. Rahul, we got the answer here. Rahul is so weak that he cannot do any work. Now we have removed to. There is no word to use here, right? Second question is telling you use so. Rahul is so. We have used so. Then the remaining we have completed. Weak that he cannot do any work. Now third question you see, begin, Rahul is so. Rahul is so, we have begun with the same, right, as asked here. Rahul is so. Rahul is so weak that he cannot do any work. So be any question in the paper, answer is same. Answer is 1. But look at the use of the word so, and next is that, right? So when we are told here use so that, so whenever you are using so, that must be there in a sentence, only then it is correct. So now see here, we got new framing here, that he cannot do any work. He is a pronoun for Rahul, since Rahul is a boy, so we have used the word he, right? And this negative word not is with the modal can, right? So Rahul is so weak that he cannot do any work, right? Now why we have used here cannot is because we are given is. Is present tense, right? So when we have present tense is in the sentence, we are using so plus that because we are asked to use the same. And when it is in the sentence, we are using cannot, right? Because is present tense, so we are using cannot. Now can modal auxiliary, right? So hence we got the answer, right? Now we move on to the second example of the same exercise B. Example B. Rahul was, now here we are in the past tense. Rahul was too weak to do any work. We have kept the same sentence, but tense we have changed into past. Rahul was, this time we are using was, right? So Rahul was so weak, Rahul was too weak to do any work. So your question is any, right? Remove to, use so, or begin. Rahul was so, dots, right? Three of the questions are the possible questions. You have the answer. Now see how the answer is. Rahul was so weak that he could not do any work. Now with was, since was is past tense, right? We have used the modal auxiliary could not. The modal auxiliary could not, right? Because could is the past tense of can, as we have understood here, right? Could is the past tense of can, right? So Rahul was so weak that he could not do any work, right? So and that must be there in the sentence. So what we have to see is whether the sentence is in the present or past, right? If it is past, was used, then so and that in their places, and we are taking the modal auxiliary could, and negative word not is there, could not, right? So Rahul was so weak that he could not do any work, or Rahul was too weak to do any work. Meaning is same, right? But we have written in the other way around, but with certain formula, right? Correct to it. So this is what is the difference between is and was, present and past, right? Now we move on to this third example, example C, right? There are certain things that you have to remember. Okay, Sohan, we have taken another name now, right? Sohan is too proud to beg. Now two and two as usual, because when you have TOO2, we also need to have TO2 along with it. They are the pairing words, right? Sohan is too proud to beg. Now the question is telling you the same. Remove to, as the earlier question we have, use so, or we have the name change now, right? Begin, Sohan is so, then dots. So see, we got the answer here. Sohan is so proud that he will not beg, right? Now just be careful. Here also we have present tense is, as we have already discussed is up there, right? But the meaning you have to understand of a sentence, right? So Sohan is so proud that he will not beg. Here we have used will not, right? Because what does the sentence mean? Sohan is too proud to beg. That means begging is easy for everyone, why not? Right? But nobody wants to beg, right? So nobody wants to beg. That means you are unwilling to do it, right? You are not willing to do that work. So when there is unwillingness, meaning you are not will to do it, you are not wishing to do it. Now if it is unwillingness in the sentence, the meaning, and is use, present tense use is, so in that in the proper places, and we get a new modal auxiliary to use. This is will not, because this is against the will of someone to do it. That begging is not preferred by all. So when there is against the will of anybody, right, and is used in the sentence, then use will not, right? So we got the answer. Sohan is so proud that he will not beg, right? Now we have the last example to the same question. D. Sohan was too proud to beg. Now the difference between these two sentences is and was. Is present, was is past. We have made the sentence past tense now. Sohan was too proud to beg, right? Now Sohan was so proud that he will not beg, right? Now when the sentence is in the past was, so in that in the proper places, the past tense of will is would, so we have used would not, right? So this is the answer we got. The question may be asked in any way, right? Remove to, as we have seen, remove to, use so, begin, Sohan is so, Sohan was so, as in the sentence, right? So we got in the same formula what is said, right? So this is also unwillingness, but the sentence is in the past. That is why when was is used, we are using would not, right? So there are other examples to carry on with the use of to and to change into so and that, but they are rarely asked. What is asked is from the list of these 4 examples that we have understood, right? So we need to go thorough with these examples, right? So once understood, then any question on this is simple, right? So hope you understood this part. Now we move on to the next exercise, as soon as, to be changed into no sooner. So how do you change as soon as into no sooner is a work, right? Or it may be vice versa also. In the upper case also, there may be vice versa. The question may be in the use of so and that, right? Now if the question is in the use of so and that, the formula will be reversed, right? You have to answer it using to and to. So the council in the examination paper will ask in any way, right? It may be asked in any way. So you need to understand both the ways. Okay, that is what you must know. So as soon as to be changed into no sooner, right? Now the example says, see, as soon as Anjali saw her mother, she started crying. Once again, see, as soon as Anjali saw her mother, she started crying. Now when as soon as is used, the verb is in the past, saw, right? The character can be anyone, right? I have just taken the name of Anjali, right? So Anjali, here you see, is just a name taken, right? As soon as Anjali saw her mother, she started crying. There is a comma that separates the 2 sentences. Now your question is asking begin no sooner. However, whenever there is as soon as asked, you are asked to begin with no sooner. No sooner dot or dots. That means you have to complete the remaining portion, right? This is your exercise. So how do you get the answer with this? No sooner means as soon as. As soon as means no sooner. Both of these have the similar meaning. Now when as soon as said and you are asked to make your sentence with no sooner, you are not using as soon as again in the sentence, because no sooner and as soon as cannot be together, because both of these mean the same thing, right? So use any one, right? So you are asked to begin your sentence with no sooner. So in place of as soon as, we are using no sooner. No sooner did Anjali see her mother than she started crying. Look at the construction. When we have taken the help of did. Now when we have taken the help of did, the verb automatically becomes present. Saw became see, right? And the comma that has separated the 2 sentences earlier is vanished, disappeared, and in place we have used than, than, than. Mind you the spelling, many of you write than, and if it is than, then you're losing marks. Than, than. No sooner did Anjali see her mother than she started crying. Full stop. This is the sentence construction we have, right? Now move on to the second answer. You have other way of answering the same, right? The other way to answer the same thing, or no sooner had Anjali seen her mother than she started crying. Now look at the changes we have. In place of did, we have used had. In place of see, we have used seen. The rest all same, right? No sooner had Anjali seen her mother than she started crying. Now see, had is past tense, right? That's why we have taken the past participle verb seen. See, saw, seen, right? So you get the answer in both the ways, using did or had. Now how do you remember using did and had? See, this is the formula. With no sooner, when you were asked to use no sooner, there are 2 answers to be made, or you can make, right? One is using did. Now when you are using did, the verb becomes present verb, and we have the common word than added in the sentence, than, than. Now if you find this one difficult to answer, then choose this to answer. You can also use no sooner had. Now if you are using had, the verb in the sentence will become past participle, which means the third form of the verb, past participle verb, then common word than in the sentence. Rest all will remain same, right? So hope you understood this. Now look at here. No sooner we have used than, right? No sooner we have used than, right? In the case with did, in the case with had. In both the cases we have used than. So why is it that than is common with no sooner? We could have also written no sooner did Anjali see her mother and she started crying. No sooner had Anjali seen her mother and she started crying. We can write or not? We can. But the thing is that it is not grammatically correct. Right? Using than is correct here. We have to use than. Why? Because no sooner. The word sooner is in comparative form. The word sooner is in comparative form. Sooner. Right? We have to use than. So whenever there is comparative word, we are using than. Taller than, fatter than, smaller than, bigger than, right? So whenever there is comparative form, we are taking the help of than. So for that reason, with no sooner, than is correct, right? So we have to use than. If than is missing in your sentence, that means you are losing marks, right? And there's no comma in a sentence because this comma is already replaced by than. Then it ends with a full stop, right? You can answer in any way.